Gwe Ipjilidak. Hello and welcome to the beautiful Queen's Place Emera Centre once again here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. My name is Michael Petter, joined by Mike Barkhouse, and this is the 2023 Don Johnson Memorial Cup, game number 6 of the round robin. We are now into the second half of the round robin, and the picture still very fuzzy, but starting to get a little bit clearer, as we do have one team sitting at 2-0, one team sitting at 0-2, 3 teams at 1-1 after everybody has played twice, and we've got the 2-0 Kent Coyotes out of New Brunswick taking on the Nova Scotia champions, the Antigonish Bulldogs, who have a record of 1-1 after an opening night victory over the Liverpool Privateers. Followed that up with a loss yesterday. And Mike, this, as all of our games have been, expected to be close, expected to be high-flying, expected to see a lot of offense. The Kent Coyotes, maybe with a little bit of an edge, as they are playing with house money, already sitting at 2-0.
Yeah, but you can go from playing with house money to not playing with house money really quick in an event like this. Yeah, really looking forward to this one. It's always a good game at this event when the Nova Scotia and New Brunswick champions get together, and I expect nothing different this afternoon. Two teams coming in, Antigonish namely, looking to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the event yesterday to the Kensington Vipers. Kent, meanwhile, you wonder, you shouldn't have to question their motivation, but you've started the tournament 2-0 after their two-game day yesterday. Will there be a little bit of a letdown, at least early for Kent today? Who knows? But Antigonish will be there to capitalize if that is the case. Just looking forward, like you said, to a high-flying, really, really good hockey game I think we're in for.
Couple of quick lineup notes to talk about for the Bulldogs. Drawing out of the lineup, Cross as well as Tulin. Drawing back in after playing game 1 but not game 2, Andrew Murray. And making his first appearance of the tournament, Scott Chasson. So a couple of changes there for the Bulldogs. For the Coyotes, also a couple of changes. Olivier Bro making his first appearance for the Coyotes. Drawing out of the lineup there is Casey as well as Drisdell. So not really a surprise when you got a tournament of this nature that you're going to use those extra guys on your bench to get an extra little bit of depth if you can. Give some guys some rest when you can. So we are seeing some of that extra depth coming into play here in this game.
That's the key word, depth. Every team needs it to be successful in an event like this. Stuff is going to happen. Injuries, suspensions, you name it. It's next man up. That's the mentality. But again, the deeper you are, the better that next man is, so to speak. And it's a super important facet of these teams.
For the Antigonish Bulldogs, they played the 4 o'clock game yesterday, so they've got a full 24 hours between their games. For the Kent Coyotes, they played twice yesterday, but at this point, everybody's played twice. For the Bulldogs, yes, it's over a slightly longer time span since they played on Tuesday night as well, but there really is no edge for anybody when it comes to the schedule at this point.
No, not
other than maybe Liverpool.
Right, and apart from Liverpool, I think you could probably say that Antigonish probably has the next most favorable schedule outside of Liverpool, but it's not by a whole lot. Nothing that's going to be any major discernible advantage for them. But again, 2 games yesterday for Kent. I don't think I'm going out on a limb here saying they've clinched a semi-final berth in this tournament. So due to that, you might see a slow start from them today. You might not, but I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they were a little slow out of the gates. Again, the 2 games yesterday, a little tired, a little banged up, plus the little bit of that relaxation factor that sets in, that they know that they're going to be playing Saturday, might lead in a more desperate team maybe initially in Antigonish off their first loss. I think we might see a early jump from Antigonish on Kent, and then they have to respond.
We saw in the game earlier today how important goaltending is. Let's take a look at this goaltending matchup. You've got Adam Catch coming in with a record of 1-1. He's played every minute so far for the Bulldogs, a 3.5 goals against average in this tournament so far, an .896 save percentage. At the other end, Zachary LeBlanc getting his second start. He's 1-0, a 4.0 goals against average, .867 on the save percentage. 2 very, very high-quality goaltenders, 2 goalies who also like to come out of their crease to play the puck and are willing to take those risks. 2 goalies who are going to get involved in this game.
Yeah, and again, it's fascinating to watch the different strategies from the different coaches in terms of what they do with their goaltending in this event. Some coaches, like Mario Cormier from Kent, it seems like he's going with the rotation right now. Both his goaltenders split the games yesterday. LeBlanc got the win in the opener over the CBN Stars, and of course Dallaire outstanding last night versus Liverpool in victory. Back to LeBlanc today, so it seems like at least for now, until the round robin concludes, we're going to see a split of the games for Kent. At the other end, I expect Adam Cash to be the guy the entire way, barring injury or something else for Antigonish. He's been solid so far, especially yesterday. I think that game against Kensington could have been more lopsided, but for Adam Cash and his experience. And it should be mentioned again, Cody McEachern, one of the top goaltenders in Atlantic Canada during the year, not here for Antigonish this week due to injury, unfortunate. But again, fortunate to have a goaltender the quality of Catch to step in and take the reins.
And should something happen to Catch, and of course, knock on wood, we're not wishing that on him or on anybody, but should something happen to him, there is a very reliable backup in Raya Stewart, one of the best female goaltenders in Atlantic Canada, played U18 male hockey this year with the Cape Breton West Islanders, and is now stepping up as an AP call-up for the Antigonish Bulldogs in this tournament. Of course, is also the cousin of Sarah Stewart, who's right now playing for Colgate. Not right now because their season is finished, but plays for Colgate. And of course, also within the family is defenseman Zach Stewart for this Antigonish Bulldog team as well.
Yes, absolutely. Again, the pipeline of female hockey in this part of the world continues to grow, which is great to see. Raya will have her moment in the sun. It might not come this week. It may yet. We don't know how it's going to go, but expect big things down the road from her one way or the other. And should mention as well, finish the thought about Zachary LeBlanc. You mentioned the two goaltenders today that like to handle the puck. We've seen almost every goaltender in this tournament now. I think it's safe to say Zachary LeBlanc, far and away the most active goaltender in this event as far as playing the puck. He is like a sixth forward or sixth player out there on the ice. Any chance he gets, he's left, right, back, forward, trying to move that puck up ice aggressively. It's actually quite fun to watch.
And speaking of female hockey players from the Antigonish area, we have to mention everybody who's watching right now, please go to tsn.ca. We don't normally promote other websites of other organizations, but another young lady from the Antigonish area, Kendall Dwaron, the goal that she scored at the SO Cup yesterday is up in the 1v1, and she's ahead in the voting right now, but we'd love to see Kendall Dwaron of the Antigonish area, member of the Northern Subway Selects. We'd love to see her win that 1v1 tonight after the goal she scored yesterday. If you haven't seen it yet, go to tsn.ca, check out that replay, and give her your vote. It was an incredible goal that she scored.
Yeah, and as I said it when we watched it yesterday, that she scored twice. She put the play with the stick through the legs. She scored. Puck came right out, and she left nothing to chance, and she buried it a second time, putting the exclamation mark on it. Fantastic goal and good to see.
And Kendall Dwaron, just 14 years old, again playing at the U18 Female National Championship Tournament for the Northern Subway Selects. Selects right now with a record of 2-2 going into their last game. And yeah, I'm a little bit biased because I am their hometown play-by-play voice, so they are my team. I almost think of those girls as 20 more of my own daughters. I already have 3 daughters, and now I've got 20 more. Anytime we could do something to help promote those girls, absolutely. We want to mention as well very quickly this tournament and all of our broadcasts here on this tournament being sponsored by Mercy Seafoods and Best Western Plus here in Liverpool. So a big thank you to them as we get ready for this game between the Antigonish Bulldogs, the Kent Coyotes. Coyotes with a record of 2-0, Bulldogs with a record of 1-1. It's the second of 3 games here today. We've got one more coming up at 7:30 when the Liverpool Privateers play the CBN Stars, who will be playing their second game of the day. Stars winning earlier today 6-2 over the Kensington Vipers in a game that, while we've got a couple of minutes here before these teams come out onto the ice, a game that had almost 3 or 4 different feels to it at different points throughout the early afternoon.
Yeah, we characterized it as the wild swings and momentum that you get in junior hockey due to the emotion and the testosterone and everything else involved in junior hockey, and we really saw both teams suffer ebbs and flows and go through different points in the game where they lost their composure a bit, got away from what makes them successful. In the end, Riley Pettin, goaltender from CBN, playing his second straight player of the game as well, honors for him. He was sensational again today. He's the clubhouse leader for the tournament all-star team at the goaltender position, but again, that's far from decided, as is just about everything else in this event.
Speaking of players of the game, looking down at the Kent Coyotes about to make their way out onto the ice in their road wine jerseys with the black and white trim. They will be the visiting team for this game, despite the fact that they are going to be sitting on the bench that has the word home blazoned across the back of it. The Antigonish Bulldogs will be the home team for this game, wearing their home whites. The guy near the front of the line right now, we talked about Zachary LeBlanc. We have to talk about the other guy with the last name LeBlanc. He has been absolutely dynamite, and he's leading the way in scoring after every team has played 2 games. He's got 6 points, and that being, of course, Julien LeBlanc. He is going to be a big key for this Kent Coyote team again here today.
Yeah, there's not much more we can say that we haven't said already through the first couple of days about Julien LeBlanc. Absolute stud on the blue line for Kent. 4 goals, 2 assists through the first 2 games. Doing everything, though, blocking shots, making big defensive plays at the right times, throwing big hits. And he doesn't wear a letter on his sweater, but he is an absolute leader out there in every phase of the game for the Coyotes. And if you look at the scoring leaders for the tournament right now, 3 Coyotes currently occupy the top 3 spots. You got LeBlanc, followed by Alex Ferguson and Alex Bask, both with 5 points. Ferguson has 2 goals and 3 assists. Bask with 5 assists yesterday. So again, high-powered, high-octane offense that Kent brings to the table. Antigonish has to come ready right from puck drop today.
And one of the players that I'm going to be keying on for the Bulldogs, a guy who played very well in the opener against the Liverpool Privateers, was a little bit more quiet yesterday, that being Bradley Armstrong. A 3-point game in the game against Liverpool, was held off the score sheet in that game against Kensington yesterday. I think he's going to have to be a key for this Antigonish Bulldog team if they want to hold up against this high-powered Kent offense.
No argument there. Zach Lorette, he was the player of the game yesterday for Antigonish. He's been good. Sam Grant has been good, but he's got another gear that I think he can find. Look for him to be good today as well.
Absolutely. As we have the teams lined up on their respective blue lines getting ready for the presentation of O Canada prior to puck drop, let's send things downstairs for those introductions.
The kids that came out last night carrying the flags are on cloud 9. You guys are all rock stars with them. You made their day, you made their week, you made their, we did a lot for them. Thank you very much. I want to give you guys a big round of applause because it's all on you. Thank you very much, guys.
And if you didn't quite catch that, it was just our in-house announcer thanking the players for the work that they did with the youngsters who were carrying the flags during the opening ceremony. And now, O Canada. And Mike, I'm just realizing when we talked about alternating back and forth between who was doing play-by-play from one game to another, we certainly didn't plan it that you would get every Kent Coyotes game. but that's the way it's been so far. So Mike Barkhouse with the play-by-play for the Kent Coyotes again. I think you're becoming the official voice of the Coyotes here, the way it's going.
Well, maybe plan B, as it will, but we'll let other people decide that. Teams are almost set to go here. Game number 6 of this 2023 Don Johnson Memorial Cup. It's been an outstanding event so far, and now things are really going to get good as we start to approach the semifinals Saturday. Looks like the starting lineup out there for the Bulldogs, consisting of William Fitzsimmons, Will Munro, Sam Grant, Ben McClellan, and Owen Fleming. That looks like the starting 5 for the Antigonish Bulldogs. For the Coyotes, Olivier Bro, first tournament appearance. He's taking the opening faceoff in his first game. He's flanked by Sebastian Gould, and I think that's another Poirier over there. Yeah, that's number 11, Mathieu Poirier, Gabriel Poirier, and William Bork on defense for Kent as we are underway here in Liverpool. Game 6 of 13 in this wonderful week. Sam Grant wearing the C for Antigonish. He sends it through the middle, glove down by Bork. Goes back to Grant, he'll send it deep. LeBlanc, shockingly, out of the net to play it. Shot from Fitzsimmons from the sidewall didn't get on goal. And now away comes Poirier. Ahead looking for Gould. That's broken up by Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons has a goal in this tournament, but it has been much better than that stat line. He's been one of the better Antigonish players from my point of view anyway. Now trying to come out of the zone are the Coyotes. Gould couldn't reach that. He and Fleming give chase now to the near corner. Gould try to get back to the point. Nobody there. Kent were making a line change. Now back comes Fitzsimmons through neutralizer speed. This line's going to make a change here shortly for the Bulldogs as well. Careful there. Fleming going to the bench. Had the puck hit his skate. That's always a dangerous too many men type possibility. Miguel Poirier down there in the corner now for Kent. Digs it out and sends it cross ice to Samuel Roy. Roy one-on-one with Scott Chasson. Sends it to the down low below the goal line. And now rimming that around is Bradley Armstrong, player of the game in the tournament opener. Now Zach Lorette, player of the game yesterday's shot. That's blocked to the corner. Good pace to this one early on. A minute and a half gone. No shots on goal yet, though, but will we get one here? Here comes Bastrash, I believe that is. Oh, no, it's Bork. Nicholas Bork with the shot. Kicked out by Adam Katz. There is the first save of the day for either goaltender. Now Julien LeBlanc has it. He'll have a look, sauces it over to Olivier Poirier. Now we get a whistle at the blue line offside for our first whistle with 18:09 gone in to go, in period 1.
One of the keys I'm going to be looking at in this game, as we've seen through much of this tournament, special teams obviously going to be important. You look at the power play of the Kent Coyotes, it is cycling at an 80% efficiency so far. If they get a lot of power play chances, watch them get some big opportunities out of that.
And conversely, Antigonish 0 for 8 on the power play in this event. That's something they're going to have to get going if they're going to be successful later on in the week. LeBlanc now gloves this down, can't get it deep. Alex Bass tries to do the same, now goes off the leg of the linesman. LeBlanc will take it back to his own blue line. LeBlanc through the middle for Casey, sends it over to Basque. 5 assists in this event so far for Alex Basque. Now LeBlanc out of his net, plays it ahead to Julian down here below us. And taking over for the Bulldogs is Kyler Lonis. Partner pass over to Zachary Stewart. Ahead now to McGrath. Logan McGrath sends that deep. There's the paddle down for LeBlanc. Every chance he gets, he's going to play that puck. And eventually there's going to be an adventure. You just know it's coming. No way he's going to stay perfect. Shot there from Brody McPherson. Doesn't find the net. Antigonish still looking for their first shot of the game almost 3 minutes in. Fleming now looked like he was going for the wrister. Didn't get that away. Now Cedric Bastarache leans on him, sends it deep. Alex Ferguson over to get it in the far corner, sends it down low. Cedric Bastarache gives chase, knocked away from him by Fleming. Ferguson now battling with Berkovici. Miguel Shaw sends it over to his defenseman. Now Ferguson can't handle that at the red line. Picked up by the shot. Here he comes. Miguel Shaw at his off wing. Sends it through. Redirected by Ferguson right on. Catch. Had to be sharp with the right pad right there. Now here comes Will Munro. 1-on-1 with Gabriel Poirier. Will Munro shoots. That goes wide on the glove side. Dangerous looking rush there from Will Munro. Just couldn't find the accuracy that was needed. The finish. Now racing off the bench is Fitzsimmons' shot that hits the stick of Gabriel Poirier and heads up and over the glass and out of play. Still no shots for Antigonish, but it's not for lack of effort. 16-13 to go in the first, still scoreless.
Matthew Berkovici from from the Halifax area, but played his U18 hockey just down the road for the South Shore Mustangs. In his first year with the Antigonish Bulldogs, in 24 games, finished with 9 points, 4 points in 12 playoff games for the first-year Junior B hockey player who probably could have played Junior A, but the lifestyle choice decided to focus on his education, move up to Antigonish, go to St. FX and play Junior B.
I know those guys, the Mustangs. Now here's Grant turning and firing. There's the first shot of the afternoon for the Antigonish Bulldogs. LeBlanc, cool, calm, and collected, snares that with the glove. 3-1 the shots on goal right now in favor of the Coyotes.
And we're going to see these two goalies. We talked about how much they like to come out of their net and play the puck. We're also going to see these two goalies who like to come out to the very top of their crease, and they challenge shooters. They do not sit back. They will cut down angles very, very well for a full 60-minute time.
Another quick whistle here as an icing called against the Coyotes. 15:45 to go in the first. What are your thoughts on the first 4 minutes and change here?
Still a little bit of a feeling out kind of process. We haven't seen a whole lot of big hits. We haven't seen a whole lot of really dramatic play. Just a bit of a feeling out process, a bit of a trying to get a sense of each other. And I think as this period continues on, we'll start to see the tempo pick up. We'll start to see the risks pick up a little bit as well.
Back underway inside the Ken zone. Lonis, well, a little bit of a late whistle there from the linesman after the shot had been released, but it is offside at the near blue line. So after a couple of nice stretches of uninterrupted play, 3 quick whistles in succession, 15:35 to go. And I see they didn't put the Antigonish shot up on the scoreboard yet. Julian LeBlanc now head to the red line. That's sent. Well, Stewart tried to send it back in. It hits a body. Now LeBlanc moves it ahead. Lonis over to collect, and he'll lift that into his own bench for another stoppage.
Having been the guy who in other buildings has done that job of being down in the penalty box and trying to work the shot clock and everything else, sometimes it's hard to tell from down there if a shot was going to go wide, or you can't quite tell if it got all the way through to the goalie or whatnot. So give those guys down there credit. They're doing a good job of getting our shot clocks pretty accurate. Every now and then they might miss one, but that's such is the way it goes.
Good blocker save there by Adam Catch on that shot from the slot. I think it was Jeremy Casey getting the shot away. Frederick Casey not in the lineup today, as mentioned, for Ken. Here's Marshall shoots. LeBlanc took a chunk out of that. Couldn't control the rebound. Now McGrath gets it back to Stewart. Stewart shot right on stop. Big rebound from LeBlanc. Bask in there to collect that. Sends it off glass. Not out. Lonis keeps it in. Now he'll go for a skate. Kyler Lonis. Try to get it out into the slot. Bask steps in front of that. Bask is a big body, big reach. He's really good. He's got an active stick, and he's good at clogging that middle of the ice and taking away those passes. Here's another icing call on the Coyotes. Past the 5-minute mark, but we're trudging along now after a very nice start.
One thing you're going to see from both of these teams is defenders who are very, very willing to jump up into the play as well. Just because they're a blue liner doesn't mean they're going to stay at the blue line when the puck is in the offensive zone. Both these teams very good at getting their defensemen to come low and get engaged, and their forwards to recognize that and go back and cover up quite well.
Darren Waterman, his dad, in case you didn't know, is the head coach of the St. Francis Xavier X-Men football team in AUS Sports. He's here. Said hello to Gary earlier in the week. He's pumped up. Here's Casey with a shot. Not sure if Catch got a piece of that with the pad or it went just wide. Dangerous chance there for the Coyotes, looking to open the scoring. Now here's a shot from the blue line, floated in. That was most definitely a Adam Catch save. Now Fleming in to take this puck away. Tries to get to Waterman. Now Cedric Bastarash sends it almost down low. Now the other Bastarash, there's a lot of them. That's Nicholas, sends that one wide. Physical play has picked up a bit on this shift. We'll see if it continues. Here's Waterman trying to send Lorette away. He was falling. Lorette tries to pull the puck inside. Good play there by Pierre-Luc Arsenault to break that up. Now Chasson in front of his own bench. Feathers it through. Too far for McPherson. Arsenault Gets it to Bastarash. That's Cedric. Activating from the point is Baldwin to keep that down low. Luke Baldwin bobbing and weaving down there. Now slides it over to Andrew Murray, making his return to the lineup today, and it's going to go the length of the ice. Catch out of the net to play it. And he looks comfortable as well. Murray now takes a bump from Cedric Bastarash. Murray digs it out, tries to advance it. Ferguson takes it from him, gets it to Cedric Bastarash. Now back to Ferguson, lost it. Now Burkovici in to grab it, and he'll send it over to Brody McPherson. McPherson gets the red line, can't get it deep though. Now it's a turnover. LeBlanc is right there in the thick of it, to no one's surprise. Ferguson, back to Olivier Poirier. Ahead to Miguel Richard. Lonis gets a bit of him on the hip check, not all of them, but enough to dispossess the puck, which is the entire point of body checking. Kyler Lonis now gets ahead of steam. Through neutral ice with speed, red line, blue line. Kyler Lonis still with it. Still with it, Kyler Lonis, looking for an outlet. Tried to get it over to Grant. That was off a leg, and now back come the Coyotes. Olivier Bro. Bro sauces it through the slot. His line mate there, Poirier, could not get a stick on that. Now we're moving again after we had a good start like this and a couple minutes where we couldn't avoid any whistles, and now we're going smooth again. That one hits something in the Kent bench. Stoppage comes with 12:03 to play in the first.
Still haven't quite had the 8-minute stretch like we had in game number 1 there right off of the get-go. But one thing we also did not have in this game is a 10-minute misconduct to kick things off. We're now hitting 50% on the average of 10-minute misconducts to begin games. Players very much aware now that they cannot get across that red line during the warm-ups or it will get called.
And 2 games in a row where it has not happened. So I think the message has been sent and received by all 5 teams. Another offside here at the Antigonish blue line. Shots on goal 5-2 in favor of Kent.
And it's one of those things where you see that officials every now and then get told that this is something we want you to focus on. At the beginning of this tournament, they wanted them to focus on red line violations. We've seen it all through this season at pretty much every level of hockey. One of the things that officials have been asked to focus on is face-off violations where a player comes in too early. That has been something that has been watched very, very closely all season long at pretty much every level of hockey that I've watched, and players are getting the message, and we're seeing it happen less and less as well.
Just one of many adjustments that need to be made by players in the run of a tournament. Here's Miguel Poirier. Sends that one wide. Arsenault at the far point. Sends it back down low. Poirier can't reach that. Now Bastarash up from the point. Nicholas Bastarash. That shot gets on goal. Kind of almost handcuff catch a little bit. Not a lot on it, though, and he was able to handle it. Now Poirier. Miguel, former Amherst Rambler and Yarmouth Mariner, gives that away at the blue line. Raw in to help him out, though. Samuel Roy back to Bastarash, over to Poirier. Poirier uses that big body, gets around a couple Bulldogs. Good stick lift, though, by William Fitzsimmons to end that madness. And now here comes Fitzsimmons. Ahead looking for Munro. That's a giveaway, and Olivier Poirier is back. Ducks a hit from Fitzsimmons. I think he was falling down, and just the contact came naturally. Made it look a little worse than it was. Now Fitzsimmons and Bask are tied up. Bask taking exception to that hit. But again, I think it was just a bad timing thing as much as anything. But again, you don't want to see a teammate go down hard. And now our first little bit of discontent.
And it's going to stay 5-on-5. We're going to get penalties against each team, cross-checking against Bask and a head contact penalty against Fitzsimmons. And I think you're right. Yeah, it was just a bit of bad timing there by Fitzsimmons. He has shown through the first 2 games this year or this tournament and through the entire year that he's not the kind of player who's going to go head hunting. He's not the kind of player who's going to try and make even a borderline hit. That was just a little bit of bad luck, bad timing on that hit delivered by Fitzsimmons.
And to be fair, as we talked about teams trying to set the tone and get established territorial rights and all that. Sometimes you're just looking for reasons to do that, and that was what gave Bask the reason to kind of get in someone's face. So a little bit of it's by design as well. Back now comes the puck. It's going to be another icing call on the Kent Coyotes, approaching the halfway mark of this first period now. 10:07 to go in period one. Do you sense any desperation from Antigonish in the early going, or are they just kind of cool and calm and collected?
I wouldn't call it desperation. I see them playing their game plan, which is high tempo, quick passes, get possession, get it up and out of your zone quickly, and try and use your transition game whenever possible to generate chances coming out of your own end.
And fair to say they look more comfortable right now because they're not playing against a team that's trying to get them off their game, so to speak.
Exactly. We've got a Kent Coyote team who plays very much the same style of that run and gun type of game, and so both of these teams are allowed to play to their own identity because it complements each other very well.
Gabriel Poirier leans into one, and that would have been dangerous had it been on goal, but it was not. Now Lorette back with Poirier watching him. Lorette makes a nice angle there. Shoots. That one goes wide on the glove side of LeBlanc. Good play there by Stewart to keep that in. He gets it at the point over to Lonis. Lonis tried to get it back across to, is that Murray? No, that's Bradley Armstrong. Armstrong shoots. That's blocked. Now sent down low by McPherson. Off glass and out for the Coyotes. Stewart first there. Ferguson hounding him. Gets it over to Armstrong to Lonis. Nice move on Bastarash there. Armstrong look out, but a player fast approaching off the Kent bench. Armstrong, as he's falling, tries to get it to Lorette. Now this one comes right on, and LeBlanc has to be sharp, making that stop and holding it. 6-3 right now. The shots on goal in favor of Kent. Now 6-4 as one goes up for the Bulldogs. 8:53 to play in the first.
That shot from Armstrong coming from his knees, but it almost handcuffed LeBlanc a little bit there as it was coming blocker side. He had to take the trapper over and make the catch almost in his elbow there on the blocker side, using the trapper to hold the puck against the blocker side elbow.
Another icing call here on the Coyotes. That's got to be the fourth or fifth icing call on Kent here in this first period. They haven't been shy about icing the puck. They must clearly be comfortable with their face-off statistics.
And the other thing that they're doing is it's because they are trying to get that breakout home run kind of pass that just isn't quite hitting the target right now. So eventually you'll start to see those passes make connections, and we're going to see some odd man rushes come out of them if they are able to get them to start connecting.
McGrath sends that into the slot. It's broken up, and now back comes Miguel Poirier. Over the red line, sends it deep. Ben McClellan converges with mom and dad up here watching him. His brother Ryan played with the South Shore Lumberjacks 4 years ago or so. Good to see Ben doing well. He was a draft pick of the Lumberjacks as well. Never ended up in the South Shore. He stayed in the Junior B ranks. Waugh now in front of his own bench. Misses Arsenault with that back pass. Now Nicholas Bastarash over to collect. Under 8 minutes to go in this opening period. Still scoreless here. Game 6 of the Don Johnson Memorial Cup for 2023. The year of our Lord. Miguel Poirier now. Nice move on the inside, getting through Fleming. Fleming ends up back with it, though. Now Munro sidesteps a check. Grant had no idea where the puck was. Now that's a turnover. Arsenault over to Olivier Poirier. Olivier. Might have to start using first names here with so many common surnames. If I do start doing that, I hope it doesn't sound as weird as it might sound to me. Munro now collides with Olivier Poirier down below us. We play on. Now Mathieu Poirier with speed, can't get around Munro. This shot goes wide, catch stays in the net. Now Fleming. Trying to work around Olivier Bro down there. Puck comes out in front. Now Gould handles it for a shot. Redirected. Catch gets a stick on that. Marshall. Now Baldwin rims it around. Grant trying to catch up to that. Gould gets to it first. Chips it to Bro, and now it does finally come out to neutral ice. Bork picks it up in front of his bench. He got caught up in some of that snow. That benefited the Bulldogs for certain. And now we get an offside at the Kent blue line, all as a result of that snow. That kind of had a connection to all of that sequence. 6:42 to go. Shots on goal 7-4 in favor of the Coyotes.
You talk about all of the common surnames that you've got on the Kent Coyotes. It reminds me of a Junior B game I did a couple of years ago between the Pictou County Scotians and they were then known as the Cameron Junior Miners. They're now the Member 2 Miners. There were 3 Ryan McDonalds in the lineup, 2 for the Miners, 1 for the Scotians, and there was one point where all 3 of them were on the ice trying to differentiate between Ryan McDonald of the Scotians, Ryan McDonald, the forward of the Miners, and Ryan McDonald, the defenseman of the Miners. I still have nightmares.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that's the kind of thing that makes a broadcaster wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. I'm getting a little hivey right now just thinking about it. Casey now. This is Jeremy Casey. Tried to center. That's off a skate. Fitzsimmons has it for Antigonish. He sends that one off the body of Basque. And now Jeremy Casey gets it to Bro. He tried to one-time that. Didn't get a whole lot of it. Stick did not break, so he can't blame it on that. Now McGrath spinning away from Casey. Sends it to the blue line. Right onto the tape of Doherty. Connor Doherty. He sends it in. Heads to the bench for a change. Full change for the Bulldogs, so no forecheck here, allowing Gabriel Poirier to bring it ahead. Misses Lishaw with that stretch pass. Now here comes Lonis off the turnover. Lonis shoots right on. Gloved and held by LeBlanc. Really like Kyler Lonis' game so far today. He's really jumping up from the point, making things happen offensively.
Yeah, we talked about how the Bulldog defenders like to get into the play. Kyler Lonis, a prime example of that. He's had a few opportunities now where he's created chances. And we talked about the Bulldogs, their transition game being so good. We saw it right there. The turnover created. Lonis coming right up, getting a shot, getting an offensive zone face-off out of the play.
Cedric Bastarash ahead to Miguel Shaw. He's got a couple options. Finds Ferguson. Ferguson trying to get around Stewart. Into the stop for Arsenault. It's off the goal post. Didn't get all of it, but the release was quick enough to beat Catch, but not the post. Now it comes out in front. Shot by Shaw just goes wide of the far post. Coyotes inches away from opening the scoring. There's a wrist shot through traffic. Blockered into the slot by Catch. And now the Bulldogs clear it. Now Lorette in a foot race trying to get there before Bastarash. Good work by Bastarash to stay composed. With Lorette bearing Richard to Ferguson, another goal post. Well, anxious moments here for Adam Catch. Ferguson can't corral out on the far side, goes to Miguel Richard. Richard down low, centering pass, only white sweaters there, and the Bulldogs survive that sequence. Now the Coyotes, Miguel Poirier wants to push the puck back up ice and keep the pedal to the metal, so to speak, but his defensive partners, defensemen I should say, aren't in agreement and they ice the puck instead. 4:26 to go in the first. Still awaiting our first goal of the game.
It looked to me like on both of those posts, Adam Catch got a piece of the puck. On the first one, it looked like it just went off his skate blade and then went to the post and out. And then the second one, it looked like it went off his arm and then the post and then out. So Adam Catch doing just enough on both of those plays to keep those pucks out of his net and getting a little bit of help from the iron as well.
Couple plays that you'd love to see an instant replay of. That would probably give us a definitive answer, yes or no, on that.
And of course, for those of you watching at home, you get to do that if you want. You can go back, rewind, and then come fast forward and get to watch another post that just got hit.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah.
Not too often you get to tell us what happened. It's usually us telling you. So 2 posts to 1 for Kent, 7 shots to 5 for Kent, and scoreless.
I want to come back to Adam Catch for a minute, because it's not often you hear about a player who plays at 3 different levels in the same year. Adam Catch, one of those rare goaltenders who played Major Junior, played Junior A, and is now playing Junior B, all within the same season, as he was with the Halifax Mooseheads as a call-up, played with the Pictou County Weeks Crushers, ended up getting released by them to go to the Antigonish Junior B Bulldogs throughout the course of this year.
Shot from the sideboards by Ben McClellan is gobbled up by LeBlanc. Nothing really too major for LeBlanc to deal with in this first period. Of the 6 Antigonish shots, I don't seem to recall one in particular that was what I would call overly dangerous.
No, nothing really. Just the one that he caught a little bit awkwardly using his trapper to catch it on his blocker side elbow.
McClellan now sends one through, redirected. I think that was a nice pad save there by LeBlanc with the left pad. And yeah, don't knock it. We've seen many non-dangerous shots go in the net over the years as well. There's no such thing as a bad shot when you're at Atlantics. Here's McGrath for the Bulldogs. Misfires on that clearance. Coyotes keep it in for a moment. Now the Bulldogs have it back. Chipped in by Marshall. He'll head across for a change. Full change for the Bulldogs. Partial change for the Coyotes as they start off ice. Gould is being leaned on by Baldwin. Grant in to try and take that away. Late stages of the first period now. Here comes Mathieu Poirier. Battling down there with Chasson. Gould sends it down low. Fitzsimmons plays it here to the vacant near side. Munro over to collect. Just past the outstretched stick of Nicholas Bastarache. Coyotes have to reset. Olivier Bro to Mathieu Poirier. Goes deep. Baldwin first to it behind his goal. Up the middle to Fitzsimmons. He's got Grant on the far side and hits him in stride. Sidesteps Poirier. Poirier got a little piece of him, though, enough to knock him off stride. See what the Bulldogs can do here now. Miro into Fitzsimmons, back to the point to Chasson. Chasson gathers, looks into the slot, redirected by Fitzsimmons. That didn't miss by a ton. Under 2.5 to go in the period. Baldwin's shot, and I think that hits the mask of LeBlanc and goes up and over the glass. Now to play. Bulldogs now leading in the shot count 8-7. 2:25 to go in the first. Still goalless in Liverpool.
And after a game where we saw 5 goals in a first period earlier today, to see a game where it's still scoreless at this stage, a very different feel to this one than the one that we had earlier. And you get the feeling that this game is going to stay within 1, maybe at maximum 2 goals on either side at any point in this game. You don't feel like there's ever going to be a bigger margin than that.
I'm okay with it. Coyotes control off the draw. Julien LeBlanc off glass and out through everybody. Comes right down on catch. He'll steer that over for Kyler Lonis. Lonis to Stewart. Can't corral that cleanly, but Waterman's got it on the half boards. He's stripped of the puck by Casey. Gets it to Bro. Joshua Bro through to Bask on the backhand. Catch makes the save. Now comes up to the near side. Catch was looking the wrong way, but the Coyotes couldn't make him pay, and that was you-know-who at the side of the goal. That would have been goal number 5. I think he'll be all right. Yeah. Now Casey into the slot. Bulldogs send that out. Don't think it's going to be icing, no. LeBlanc back for it now. Lorette on the forecheck. LeBlanc sheds him. Now sidesteps Armstrong nicely. Gets it ahead to Alex Bask to Joshua Bro. Bro had the ceiling goal yesterday versus Liverpool, or last night. Now an awkward blocker save there for Catch. After one just sailed over the goal, that didn't miss by a whole lot. He had a little trouble with that. Armstrong now as we approach the 19-minute mark of period 1. Lorette reaches, gets it, and then the whistle goes on the offside. Another slightly late whistle from the linesman. 1:07 on the clock.
As I think the reason for the delay on that whistle is because Lorette didn't touch the puck until he was almost all the way down into the corner, so it was technically one of those delayed offsides, hence the delayed whistle, as he came in just ahead of the puck, racing down, trying to get his stick on it, but was in just a little too early.
Face off to the left of Adam Catch here. Won by the Bulldogs. They send it off the glass and out. No icing as Gabriel Poirier gets it to William Bourque. We're under a minute to go in this opening 20. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Cedric Bastarache gets the red line. He'll send it in. Catch comes out of the net. Got to be careful, as always. One mistake can end up in the back of your net. Bourque keeps it at the blue line. Gives that away, and now away come the Bulldogs. Marshall couldn't get that. Comes right down on LeBlanc. He plays it ahead quickly to Miguel Richard, to Bastarache, back to Richard. Richard 3-on-2 here for the Coyotes. Richard's shot stopped by Catch. Ferguson over to the far board. Cycles it down low for Gabriel Poirier. All he can do now is try and get it down low, and that's broken up nicely by Marshall. 15 seconds to go in the first period. McGrath sends it deep. LeBlanc out of the net. Now McGrath and Poirier both lose their sticks. Both benches yelling. Nothing going to come of it as Chasson back forward. Just 5 seconds to go And this will bring a fast-moving first period to a close here in Liverpool. Shots on goal, 11-8 in favor of the Kent Coyotes. And we are scoreless through one period of play between the champions of New Brunswick and the champions of Nova Scotia. Thoughts on the first period, Peter? For me, I think it was, certainly there is no game at this event that's going to be without intensity. The first period was plenty intense. But I think it was just right along the line. If we draw like a horizontal line, it never ramped up. It never lulled. It just kind of was your average, high-pace, well-played hockey game. No real over-aggression, no ill will really to speak of, just kind of paint by numbers.
It had the feel of an old school early 80s Montreal Canadiens versus Edmonton Oilers kind of game. Two teams who like to play run and gun but have no animosity towards each other, but a lot of respect and just high skill, back and forth. Intensity, yes, absolutely, but no animosity, and a couple of little skirmishes there, but very, very minor. But it looks to be 20 minutes in the books and 40 more very entertaining minutes coming up. If you like that run and gun offense, we've had two very good goaltenders as well who've helped to keep this game scoreless through that opening 20 minutes.
And in saying all that, we both know that it doesn't take very much for that to change. One little event and all of a sudden all hell can break loose. So your guess is as good as mine as what the final 40 minutes will bring. But as you said, we know it's going to be entertaining, as this entire week has been so far. So happy to be here.
We have been so spoiled. We really have. With 5 1/3 fantastic hockey games so far. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, get you ready for the second period of this one in just a few minutes. You are watching the 2023 Don Johnson Memorial Cup from the Queen's Place Emera Center in Liverpool here on Atlantic Hockey Online through AO Live, produced by Petter Sports and Streaming and sponsored by Mercy Seafoods and Best Western Plus Liverpool. As we finish our off-air game of Where Are You Talking About? We'll head back in here for getting ready for the second period here between the Kent Coyotes and the Antigonish Bulldogs. As someone not from anywhere near the area listening to this conversation that was just happening between Mike Barkhouse and Seth Silver, they finally figured it out. They finally got to the same page as to where we're talking about to apparently get some pretty good subs in the area.
Yeah, I'm not from here either, but I just happen to have a very good sense of direction and a photographic memory. But you wouldn't know it, judging how that conversation went for 3/4 of it.
It's one of those you had to be there moments, I guess, as we get ready for the start of the second period. Oh, I suppose I should hit these buttons so that you actually get to see the ice surface. There we go. As the second period is underway, and Mike Barkhouse with the play-by-play.
Thank you, Mike. Here's Poirier, Mathieu down to Gould, Centering pass there, Bro to whack out. This is his first game of the tournament. Puck was never covered by Catch and the Kent bench, as you could probably expect. Not too happy about that quick whistle.
And, we've talked about it before. Quick whistles are unfortunately at times part of the game. And through the course of a weekend or a week-long tournament like this, you'll get a couple of quick whistles that'll go your way and a couple quick whistles that'll go against you. That one happens to go in favor of the Antigonish Bulldogs.
Yeah, and it's either a quick whistle or a late whistle. You got guys like me on you, so really they can't win, and they're doing a good job. Let's make sure we say that, because sometimes we sound like we're being critical when we're not. We're just kind of observing with our mouths open. LeBlanc now behind the goal. Leaves it for his defenseman, trying to get a number down there. It's hard sometimes, those maroon numbers with black backgrounds. That was Olivier Poirier. Now Grant's shot goes right into Olivier's midsection. Grant sends it back down low. Munro has that pop over his head. Almost came out front. Good alert play there by, I think that was Julien LeBlanc. Who else to knock that puck out of harm's way? Here's Grant now. Pulls it nicely to the stick. Centers. LeBlanc got a skate on that. Snuck behind him, but it went wide. Fitzsimmons now fires. And this one comes out off of a Kent body over the blue line. Now Fitzsimmons inside his own zone, all the way back retreating. Gets it to Ben McClellan. Ahead to Sam Grant. Gets around Julien LeBlanc, but he got the puck a little too far forward. And LeBlanc plays it off the glass to Miguel Poirier. Try to get it to Waugh. A lot of size on this line with Bourque, Poirier, and Waugh. Here's Lorette now back, and Waterman was just a half a step offside. That extra move that Lorette made at the blue line put Darren Waterman offside just past the minute-and-a-half mark of the second.
What a great chance for the Bulldogs if Lorette had been able to stretch his leg back just that little bit further, as it was a 3-on-1 that the Bulldogs had developing going into the zone. Unfortunately for Lorette, Waterman just that hair early.
Gabriel Poirier sends it in. Catch out of the net, plays it around. Bourque's going to keep it in at the far point, but not that much in. Lorette now tried to sidestep Waugh. He couldn't do that. Back comes Bourque. Bourque being leaned on. I should say, good time to mention it, number 7 for Antigonish, no name bar. We were calling him Scott Chason. That's the roster that we dug up, but it's actually Brody McDonald wearing sweater 7 for Antigonish. So apologies to the McDonald family and to Brody for misnaming him for the first period, but it won't happen again. Now Gabriel Poirier behind the goal, gets it to Bourque. Now we're going to get our first penalty of the afternoon, in this game anyway. Poirier slow to get up. It's going to be against the Bulldogs when they touch. Bourque takes it behind the goal. Gabriel Poirier, one of the leaders on the blue line for the Kent Coyotes, is not heading to the bench very quickly. Gets off under his own power, though. That's good to see. It looks like it's going to be a cross-checking call to the Bulldogs.
And so we will get the first power play of this game. As you mentioned, it will go in favor of the Kent Coyotes, and we talked about this earlier on in this game. The Coyotes so far in this tournament, 4 for 5 on the power play, and 80% efficiency, and Poirier being taken right to the dressing room, and he is very, very shaky as he heads back there. The penalty kill for the Antigonish Bulldogs so far in this tournament, 5 out of 7, 71.4% penalty kill efficiency against an 80% power play efficiency so far on the weekend for the Coyotes.
Poirier not quite to the room. You might not be able to see him, but I can still see him. He's in the hallway with the training staff being looked at. That might be a good news. That might mean that he might be planning to return to this game fairly shortly, but we'll continue to monitor it. Now Bro with a shot through, and that hits the neck protector that hangs underneath the mask of Catch. No rebound from the Antigonish goaltender. 19 seconds comes off the clock in this Kent power play.
And an important save there for Adam Catch. We'll get another face-off just off to his left.
There's a clearance by the Bulldogs. Somehow that doesn't hit anything in the rafters, and LeBlanc comes out of the net to play with Marshall bearing down on him. And here come the Coyotes. So all the drop pass went all the way back below the goal line. So Julien LeBlanc resets behind the Coyotes goal. And here he goes, leading his troops up ice. Drops to Alex Ferguson. Ferguson over the blue line. He'll send that deep. Catch wisely stays in the net. Bask waits for it. Looks like Poirier has gone all the way to the room now. So we'll continue to watch that situation unfold. Here's Julien LeBlanc from his office. The one-timer on his offside, off wing, whatever you want to call it. Scored a goal like that yesterday. Couple, actually. Now Ferguson in shot block. Comes right back to him. Down low to LeBlanc. Centers. Good play by Fleming to get down low and keep that pass from getting through. Ferguson now back to Bro. Joshua Bro. That shot's blockered over the glass by Catch. 34 seconds to go in the first Kent power play.
Julien LeBlanc loves to set himself up there right at the very top of the left wing face-off circle, just where the top of the circle sits, and he sits there with his stick up in the air, waiting, and gets those one-timer shots away. He gets so much power behind those shots, and it's such a great angle for him, so very dangerous.
Just like that, except that was Nicholas Bastarache, not Julien LeBlanc, and Catch with his best save of this man advantage. 30 seconds to go in it now.
And the Coyotes, it looks like, doesn't matter which power play unit they have out there, it's the same basic setup. They want to get that one-timer from just a little bit off to the left wing side.
Sometimes less is more. You see all these new modern fancy power play structures. Sometimes keep it simple, stupid, and you'll have good success. 20 seconds left in the power play now as Bastarache sidesteps the Bulldog fallen player. Shot goes off a couple of bodies and to the corner. And Arsenault can't quite keep that in. Here goes McGrath now. Possibly shorthanded, but good play by break that up by Jeremy Casey. Now Arsenault takes over. Just 5 seconds on the clock. Looks like the Bulldogs are going to kill this one off. 4 for 6 now in the tournament on the power play are the Kent Coyotes. Still a just fine percentage. Thank you very much. I'm sure we haven't seen their last power play goal. McGrath now over the red line, trying to feed it through to Munro. Battling down there, comes away with it nicely. Now gets it to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons with McGrath out in front. Good play there to get down low by Arsenault and take that pass away. Now Fitzsimmons to the top of the circle. Spins, fires right on. Pad save LeBlanc. Rebounds there. Lotus shoots, and that's blocked nicely. Away comes Gould now in a foot race with Baldwin. Gould to the backhand. I think Catch got a toe on that. Back and forth we go now, says the pace has picked up since that penalty expired. Lonis, far side. Munro gets a stick on it, nothing more. Now it's sent up into the rafters by Julien LeBlanc. That'll give us a break. 15-9, the shots on goal in favor of Kent. 14:34 to go in a scoreless second period, scoreless hockey game.
One common denominator of championship winning hockey at every level is players who are willing to sacrifice themselves to make a play, whether it's blocking a shot, whether it's taking a hit to make a pass, whatever it is. We saw blocked shots, we saw taking hits to make passes in that great sequence. No wonder these teams are all championship teams here at this event in Liverpool.
Seth doing a little juking and jiving there as that puck went high. He thought it might go up into his chops, but it's hit the glass and stayed in play. But it is an icing call on the Coyotes, so we'll do it again to the left of Zachary LeBlanc. 14:25 to go in the second period.
And Berkovici in to take this draw against, I believe that is Gould. It's 20, not 21. My apologies, Nicholas Bork.
Face off won by Berkovici. McClellan has it at the point. He'll send it down low. LeBlanc takes the bump, makes the play. Now Miguel Poirier can't clear. Hits it right into Berkovici. Poirier gets it back to Olivier Poirier. Now steal, centering pass, no one in white there. Poirier gets it ahead to Roy. Samuel Roy. The red line, gives that away across the middle. Poirier takes it back. couple Bulldogs converge on him, and Brody McPherson ends up with the play. Olivier Poirier now sends it deep. McClellan back forward in the near corner. In on the forecheck hard is Nicholas Bork, but McClellan comes away with it. Now steal by Roy. Trying to get around Fleming. That's easier said than done. Roy bumped into the board. Cedric Bassra centers. Richard scores! The forecheck of the Coyotes bears fruit, and Miguel Ishar gets the game-opening goal, the ever-important 1-0 lead with 13:28 to go in the second.
Hard work for 200 feet will always be successful. Miguel Richard making a great play at the offensive end, gets a nice move, and is able to get that opening goal of the game for Miguel Richard. That's his first goal, but his 4th point already in this Don Johnson Cup.
Yeah, he's been one of those players that we talked about that are climbing the scoring charts of this event. Miguel Richard making things happen for the Kent Coyotes. Coming up on the 7-minute mark of the second period, we wait for the goal announcement here in the building, and here it comes. We know that Bastarash gets an assist. That's Cedric. And Roy with the other helper. 6:32. Bastarash and Roy with the assists for Richard's first. Bulldogs come away. Waterman out to the neutral ice. Richard in to take that from him. Now Ferguson tried to get it to Cedric. Out of his reach. Now McDonald. Brody McDonald. Gets it over to Waterman here on the near boards. Darren Waterman. Banks it off boards and out. Armstrong. Good work there. Keep that puck from getting deep. McDonald banks off boards nicely to Lorette. Zach Lorette on his off wing. Can't send that pass across. Kent Coyotes are laying out. Everybody 1 through 5 on the ice are laying out to keep passes from going across, keep passes from getting out front, blocking shots. They're a committed unit right now. Now a big hit down here as Stewart is leaned on. Back comes McGrath now. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Going to the net is Doherty. McGrath toe drag shot. Stop. Puck is loose. The whistle goes. And now the Bulldogs are going to feel hard done by.
The net got dislodged slightly there. It ended up coming back into its spot, but it got dislodged. But maybe more importantly for the bigger picture of this overall game, during that last sequence of play, Gabriel Poirier making his way back onto the Kent Coyote bench. That is huge news for that team. Don't know how much more ice time he's going to end up seeing, but the fact that he is back there on the bench, huge news for the Kent Coyotes.
Well, I think that was him that just gave the water bottle a squirt. So dumping it on his neck. I think he's good to go by the looks of things. And that's welcome news, a sight for sore eyes, if you will, for Kent Coyote fans. Now we're going to get a penalty in front as LeBlanc, a little overzealous, taking Connor Doherty to the ice. And I think the superstar defender for the Coyotes is going to sit for 2 or less. First power play of the afternoon for the Bulldogs, about to commence with 11:46 to go in the second. Looks like it's going to be a roughing call.
So the Antigonish Bulldogs, we talked about it a little earlier in this game as well. Their power play so far 0 for on the week. They are 0 for 8. That's pretty easy to calculate that percentage. Unfortunately for them, it is 0. The penalty kill of the Kent Coyotes, they've killed off 6 of 7. That's an 85.7% penalty kill efficiency.
Fitzsimmons to Lonis. Wrist shot that hits a couple. Hits a body part and a stick on the way in and goes wide. Now Bass trying to clear. Almost came right out in front. Now Joshua Bro's going to go for a skate. 1-on-3. Good work by Bro there to kick that ahead and down to the corner. Now he and Fitzsimmons chase. Fitzsimmons comes away with it, and he's going to bring it up ice with speed. Fitzsimmons right down Main Street. Puck goes on goal. LeBlanc comfortably plays it all the way down. I tell you, if we ever have a goaltender go for a goal in this tournament, I know who it's going to be. And I like his chances. He got a lot on that clearance, and I don't even think he was putting everything into it. Fitzsimmons. Over down to Waterman. To Grant at the blue line. Grant spins back. Slides it off the foot of Fitzsimmons. Good job by Lonis to keep that in. Marshall gets it down low now for Waterman. He's bumped by Bastarash. Grant in to help out. Under a minute to go in the Antigonish power play. Nothing doing so far. Fitzsimmons over to Lonis. Lonis saucers it. There's a pass to Grant in the slot from Marshall. Grant couldn't come up with it cleanly. Now Marshall behind the goal. He's got Waterman down there. Marshall over to Lonis. Waits into the slot. That's through everything. 30 seconds to go now in the power play. Marshall to Fitzsimmons. Snapshot. LeBlanc didn't see it at all, but it went wide. Marshall back to Lonis. 20 seconds left in the power play. Marshall, top of the circle, shot blocked by Bastarash, and that goes up and over the glass. Another play. Committed bunch remaining for the Coyotes here. Again, still throwing their bodies in front of everything. 16 seconds to go in the power play.
If you had said to me before today's action had started, we're going to have one game where there were 8 goals scored in the game, and then another game where halfway through it, it's going to be a 1-0 scoreline, I would have said you would have flipped the script between these two games. The Kent Coyotes and the Antigonish Bulldogs playing incredibly well on the defensive side of the puck, both teams so far through the opening half of this game.
I hadn't thought about that, but now that you say that, I am in 100% agreement. I would do the exact same. Power play coming to an end now. Loose in front after the stop by LeBlanc. The Coyotes clear. Now look out, Julian LeBlanc in the penalty box. He's in. Goes to the backhand, and he was tied up by Fleming. Great work there to not take a penalty and play great defense at the same time. They're not out of the woods yet, though. Mathieu Poirier now gathers this loose puck, sends it on goal. Catch with the save. Trying to stuff it at the side is Gould. That's unsuccessful. Poirier, Gabriel back out there now. Good to see. Throwing those weight around, so he's feeling all right. Wow. Anxious moments there as Julian LeBlanc out of the box. In all alone, looking for his 5th of the tournament. He's got it now. He'll lift it just out over the blue line. Fleming, fresh off that great defensive play, gets it over to Baldwin. He'll send it in, and the Bulldogs make a full 5-man change with 9 minutes to go in this second period. Shots on goal 19-12 in favor of the Kent Coyotes. And the defending Don Johnson Memorial Cup champions looking to improve to 3-0 for the week. Out in front 1-0. Stewart now sends it down low. Berkovici centers. Murray was there, but so was a Kent defender. Now it goes back the other way. McClellan back into the Kent zone. Gabriel Poirier. See how he's moving out there. It looks to be no worse for wear. Well, didn't get a lot on that clearance. Here's Murray now. Centers again. Coyotes lay out to keep that puck from getting out front. We've seen that 7 or 8 times in this hockey game already. Someone laying on their stomach to keep that centering pass from getting out in front into the slot. A team that is dialed in. Here comes Nick Bourque now with speed on Berkovici. Try to get it back to Miguel Poirier. That doesn't connect. Now back comes Brody McDonald. Brody McDonald cuts inside. Has it knocked away from him. Now look out. Miguel Richard the other way. Takes the feed. Oh, good recovery there by Baldwin. Now Poirier shoots. That's off the mask of catch. No whistle. We'll keep playing on. Search pass looking for McGrath. He gets tugged from behind a little bit. Icing is the call. Well, the Bulldogs think there should have been a penalty there. McGrath was hooked from behind, slowed his progress, but it's just an icing, as it were.
And I think the Bulldogs are trying to argue that icing should have been waved off because of McGrath getting tugged a little bit there, if nothing else, but they're not going to win that argument either. What great defensive effort we're seeing by 40 hockey players here in this game. Every single player taking care of defensive responsibilities as well as creating chances offensively. This is some fantastic, fantastic hockey we're getting to watch here.
And that's why it's 1-0 at this stage of the game, because there's big defensive plays being made all over the ice and big saves by 2 good goaltenders. Here's Baldwin now. Miguel Deschamps takes that away, gets it to Alex Ferguson. Ferguson can't clear. Good play by Baldwin to keep that in. Gets it down from McGrath. Trying to get it back to Baldwin. It's on his stick. He's tied up. He can't get the shot away. 3 Bulldogs put their arm in the air. 2 referees do not. Now we're going to get a penalty to the Coyotes. And the Bronx cheer goes up from the Antigonish fans. Marshall was dumped behind the net. It's going to be Gabriel Poirier back in the game, but now he's in the penalty box. Second Antigonish power play about to begin with 7:01 to go in the second.
And William Bourque did get away with a little bit of a hook there. You can understand why the Bulldogs fans, their bench, their players were all a little bit frustrated as it took away a clear scoring opportunity. William Bourque with a bit of a hook there. He gets away with his, but not getting away with one is Gabriel Poirier with 7:01 1 left.
This off won by the Coyotes, and they clear it down the ice. Not a good start for the Bulldogs. Still looking for their first power play goal of this tournament. This is their 3rd game. By my count, this is their 10th power play. 0 for 9 so far. Fitzsimmons down low. Marshall hugs the boards and keeps it in. Trying to get it down to Grant. 5-man scrum down there. Pops free to Lonis at the point. Slides it to Grant. Grant, snapshot blocked by LeBlanc. He's feeling that one. Gets right up, but again, he's favoring a leg as he blocked that shot. He's nowhere near able to get off. Grant to Lonis. To Fitzsimmons, top of the circle. Shoots. He airmails that one. Tried to really whip it at the last second, and he got too much underneath of it. First minute of this Bulldogs power play almost over. Reaching in to get his Marshall, lifts it wide on the glove side. Fitzsimmons now. Waits, drops it for Lonis. Back to Fitzsimmons, over to Marshall, finds it, into the slot for Grant, gets it over to Fitzsimmons, trying to get it back to Waterman, he fanned on the shot. LeBlanc is still out there in all near agony. Now he'll turn on the jets to get to the bench. Long overdue change. 35 seconds left in this Antigonish power play as Lonis waits behind the goal for Lorette. Zach Lorette. Over the red line, over the blue line. Now cuts inside Lorette. This looks like it has potential. Gets it to Fitzsimmons. Back to Fleming. Under 20 seconds to go in the power play. Munro waits. Top of the circle. Fires right on. LeBlanc stops it. No rebound. As Armstrong was on the doorstep waiting for the spoils.
I want to take it back about 30 seconds or so just after that shot block by Julien LeBlanc. He was playing the high left side of the box. Alex Basque was playing the low left side. After that shot block, Basque, with great recognition, realized that LeBlanc couldn't get another shot block, so the two of them switched so that Basque was in good position if another shot block had been required. Great recognition by Alex Basque.
Penalty comes to a close. Poirier comes out of the box. Back to 5-a-side. Under 5 minutes to go in the second. It is still a 1-0 Kent Coyotes lead. Antigonish now 0 for 2 today on the power play, 0 for 10 in the Don Johnson Memorial Cup. Pierre-Luc Arsenault to the red line. Got Armstrong hounding him from behind. Arsenault trying to get across to Miguel Poirier. That's broken up. Now here comes Armstrong. Goes wide on Bourque. Taken down. Now bodies pile in on top of him, and the whistle goes. Faceoff's going to come out in neutral ice. Shots on goal 20-13 in favor of Kent. 4:24 to go in the second.
Yeah, the referee blowing the whistle there because the puck ended up underneath a prone Bradley Armstrong, and it's one of those player safety things. The referees, the mandate is not to blow the whistle if it's tied up along the boards, but if it's under a player who's down and in a vulnerable position, that play will get blown down every single time.
Yeah, hard to argue with that logic. Now the Kent bench is having a discussion about something with the official, maybe about why they weren't permitted to make a line change, or guessing. I didn't see what the exact issue was. Bulldogs control off the draw. McGrath gets it down low. LeBlanc out of the net, leaves it for Olivier Poirier. We'll continue to watch Julien LeBlanc as well, as he went off gingerly after blocking that shot. Hopefully he doesn't miss any time. Doherty shoots. That's blocked. This is a shot blocking clinic and a pass blocking clinic by the Kent Coyotes today. As good as they've been throughout the tournament, they've been better today than perhaps anybody we've seen. They've just absolutely 1 through 20 just bought into laying it all on the line. Now Bastarache down low. Slides it ahead to Samuel Roy. Gets it to Bourque. Nicholas Bourque with a head of speed. Goes wide on Doherty. Tries to lift it and he sends it off the crossbar. Oh, it was that close to being a 2-0 Kent lead. Now Bourque from the point. That's off a body. Miguel Poirier has it down here. Lonis rims it around. Too far for Doherty. Not sure this is going to have enough on it for icing. It's not. William Bourque back to collect for Coyotes. Bulldogs are changing, and the Coyotes know it. Here comes Miguel Deschamps. Miguel Deschamps around Lonis. Centers for Ferguson, and Catch makes the save. Bookmark that one. We might have to recall it when the postscript is read on this one. Gabriel Poirier now. Can't come up with that, and away comes Munro. Battling with Richard. Under 3 minutes to go in the second period. Just 13 shots for the Antigonish Bulldogs to this point. LeBlanc has been there when called upon, though. Cedric Bastarache, he's got an assist in this one. And now he's got the puck. Slides it to Richard. That's broken up by Munro. Now Fitzsimmons tries to catch up to it. Julien LeBlanc right back out there for his regular shift. Good to see. McClellan keeps that in, but it goes right to the Coyotes. And now here comes Ferguson in front of his own bench around Munro. One hand pass to Richard. Good play by McClellan to knock that away from him. Back come the Bulldogs. Grant. LeBlanc engages him long enough to knock him off stride. Smart play. Now big collision behind the goal. Fitzsimmons. And I think it was Nicholas Bastarache on the receiving end of that. Now Sebastien Gould back to LeBlanc. Touch pass Bastarache over to Mathieu Poirier. Taken into the boards hard by Armstrong. Under 2 minutes to go in the second. Sebastien Gould to Mathieu Poirier. Fleming takes over for the Bulldogs. Armstrong gets to that. As soon as the Bulldogs have the puck on the stick, as LeBlanc comes way out to knock that away, there's a red or a wine jersey right on in their face. It's been a clinic from the Coyotes. This pass goes off a body right on catch, and he's alert and freezes it with 1:27 to go.
You mentioned the Antigonish Bulldogs with 13 shots on goal so far in this game. If we were to talk about shot attempts by the Antigonish Bulldogs, it's at least double that. But as you mentioned, and as I've mentioned as well, the shot blocking of the Kent Coyotes has been so good in this game that is a big part of what has kept that shot total down to just 13 at this point. Zachary LeBlanc getting some big help from everybody out there in front of him, keeping his shots faced to a minimum.
Another save there on catch as he reaches down and grabs that skipper along the ice off the stick of William Bourque. Yeah, and you name it, any type of shot block you can think of, they've done it. We've seen all number of shot blocks and pass blocks from the Coyotes. This is a complete performance today. This is one where, they've won games in this tournament where maybe you could have made a case for the other team. This is one where if they don't get the result, you're going to feel they're a little hard done by based on how they played so far. Arsenault from the point. That doesn't get through. Bulldogs can't clear. Basque has it now, top of the circle. Dances around Doherty. Basque behind the net, out the near side. Back to Arsenault at the point. Over to Bourque. Plays catch with Bro. Sit down low, centering pass, doesn't get there. That was Jeremy Casey in front. Now Joshua Bro, as we're under a minute to go in this second period. Bulldogs can't concede now. Bourque, wrist shot, blocked nicely by Marshall, and the clear. Good work there by Nick Marshall. And he's still feeling that as he heads right to the bench. Jumping up and down, yeah, he's feeling the effects of that shot block. Bulldogs can't clear this. Here's a wrist shot right on. Pad save by Catch, under 30 seconds to go in the period. Fitzsimmons. Runs into a wall, and that's a turnover. Here's Raw now, off the crossbar from a near impossible angle. Catch was beaten. Under 10 seconds to go now. Time for one last chance. Bourque falls. Wog gathers it. He's got to find somebody quickly. 2 seconds. Spins. Fires. It goes wide. And the period expires. Frantic action in the Antigonish zone to end that period. But they are, they'd rather be in the lead. But if a 1-goal deficit heading to the room is certainly manageable. And given how this game is unfolded, you feel that second goal is bigger than ever. 26-13 shots on goal in favor of the Kent Coyotes through 40 minutes, and they lead 1-0 heading to the room.
The shots in that period, 15-5 in favor of Kent. And, as a couple of guys here who, we're not affiliated with any of the teams in this tournament, but the way this Kent Coyotes team has played, yesterday as well, but particularly today, you can't help but become a fan of the way they are playing the game. They are doing everything right. They're doing all the little things that coaches always say, you know, if you can execute the little things, execute the basics, they're doing that. They're blocking shots, they're blocking passes, they're getting traffic in front of the net. It is such a joy to watch the way that they're playing. And the Antigonish Bulldogs, they are matching them block for block and pressure for pressure. It's been so incredible watching these first 40 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and somehow, after playing 2 games yesterday, it's almost like Kent's found another gear right now, and I don't know where it's come from, but just the most complete performance we've seen from any team in the tournament so far through 40 minutes. And again, you want to say that they've been a little crisper on offense than the Bulldogs, but I don't even know if that's fair, because but for those pass blocks from getting out pucks out front and the shot blocks, Antigonish's offense looks a lot more lethal, and then they probably got more than a 0 on the scoreboard as well. So fascinating game. I'm looking forward to the final stanza.
This is going to be an incredible one for sure, and we want you to stick around for it as well, because it will be exciting. We're going to take a break because, believe me, we both need to catch our breath after that second period. After 40 minutes of play, it is Kent Coyotes 1, Antigonish Bulldogs 0. You are watching the Don Johnson Memorial Cup 2023 from Queen's Place Emera Center in Liverpool, brought to you by Atlantic Hockey Online through AO Live, produced by Predator Sports and Streaming, and sponsored by Mercy Seafoods and Best Western Plus Liverpool. Welcome back, and unfortunately we were in the middle of a conversation there with a member of the organizing committee, but we are into the third period. Mike Barkhouse, take it away.
Yeah, Sam Graham gives that away. Cedric Bastarache, 1-0 Coyotes leading through 40. Miguel Shaw, first of the tournament from Cedric Bastarache and Samuel Roy. That's the only scoring in this hockey game. It's been a near, not perfect, because we don't accept that anything's perfect, but near perfect performance from Kent so far. And as Seth said off air, this might be the performance that solidifies Kent as the favorite in this tournament after we've said we have no idea how this is going to shake down. I think if this holds, we can at least slot them in tentatively as the favorite for now. 1 minute gone in this third. Will Munro digs this puck out, skates it ahead, loses it. Now Bork has it on the half boards. Bask knocked off his stick. Munro gets it to center ice. Bork takes it over there. Gets it back to Gabriel Poirier. Left the game for a few moments in the second period with some discomfort, but did return. Bro now. Joshua Bro. Toe drag, and he lost the handle as he pulled it backwards. Here come the Bulldogs now. Lorette goes wide on Poirier. Lorette shoots, scores! Zachary Lorette with his second of the tournament. After a player of the game performance yesterday, he's got this game tied at 1.
The former Halifax McDonald with a huge goal there to even up this game. 1 minute and 39 seconds into the third period. An absolutely massive goal for Lorette. His third goal, 4th point on the week.
I said second, didn't I? Yeah, that's his third. Zachary Lorette continuing to impress in his first season in junior hockey. Been one of the better Bulldogs this week. The future is bright for that young man. And now we're back to square one. How does this thing end here now? As Seth said that he thought this game had overtime written all over it. And, well, hard to argue with that right now. Arsenault back for it now, below the goal line. Now Bastarache spins away from the forecheck as we get the goal announcement here in the building. Baldwin with the only assist on that goal. Back come the Bulldogs now, energized by that Lorette goal. Here's Lorette again, shot stopped. That one gave LeBlanc some trouble. Rebound was juicy. Miro couldn't find it. Bulldogs with the momentum. Look at that clever play by Catch, catching that puck as it bounced hard off the top dasher. Funny bounce there. Catch handled that like a guy that's played here his whole life. McGrath now, first to it for the Bulldogs. Pulls it to the forehand. McGrath to Marshall, shoots, doesn't get through. Coyotes clear. This is going to be an icing call. All Bulldogs in the early going of the third.
And I just want to address some of the feedback that we've been getting from viewers. We are aware of the fact that play along the near boards is difficult to see. All we can really say in response to that is on Tuesday, yes, we were on the other side of the ice where we had maybe a little bit better angle on the near side boards. We have been asked to broadcast for the remainder of the tournament from this side. We are aware that you can't quite see some of the play on the near boards, but unfortunately there's nothing we can do about that. It's just one of the situations that sometimes you run into from different broadcast positions.
Yeah, we have to do what we're told. If we're asked or told to do something, we have to do it. We can't say no. And so we appreciate the feedback, no question about it. But that's the only answer we can provide at this time. Gould with a shot. Good save by Catch there. See if the Coyotes can push back as they have been on their heels a bit to start this third period. The Bulldogs have come out of the dressing room with a defined purpose, and they've completed step one of that plan. They've got it back to level. Julien LeBlanc, quieter from a stat perspective game for him today. He's still been very good, though, in the other areas. McClellan now sends that over to Murray on the near boards. Berkovici in to help. Murray kicks it ahead. Bork keeps it at the point. Now that skips. It takes a funny bounce at the last second. Catch had to be sharp there, and he was. Now away comes Brody McPherson over to Murray. Through the legs of Bourque nicely, but it's blown dead on the offside. 15:48 to go in the third.
And that goal scored by Zachary Lorette takes what had been, as you said, an almost perfect performance by the Kent Coyotes and now turns it into a starting from square one, 15:48 left to go. And really this game is very much a coin flip. A lucky bounce one way or the other could turn this game on in either team's favor.
Yeah, it's like we talked about in the early game today. Things can change so quickly in junior hockey, and the complexion and the tone of this game has done just that as well. This has been all Antigonish through the first 4.5 minutes of this third.
And I want to switch the focus just for a quick second over to the SO Cup being played over in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Good news for Atlantic hockey there. The Northern Subway Selects have clinched a spot in the semifinals before their last game even gets played. Regardless of the outcome of their game coming up against Regina, or actually just underway against Regina, they will be in the semifinals regardless, based on the outcome of a game earlier today. It has clinched the Northern Subway Selects a spot in tomorrow's semis at the SO Cup.
You love to see it. Baldwin trying to get it over to Brody McDonald. Grant in to help, gets it ahead to Waterman. Absorbs the contact. It's to Fitzsimmons. Good play by Bastarash to take that from him just as he was pulling it to the forehand for a quick shot. Past the 5-minute mark of the third period. Zach Lorette's third of the tournament has us tied. Grant now. Couple assists for him this week. Baldwin sends it down low. No one there. Waterman over to the far corner. Now it goes to Grant. And away come the Coyotes. Bro has that knocked off his stick. Arsenault falls. Now Baldwin shoots and he scores! Baldwin with a seemingly harmless-looking wrist shot from the wing, and LeBlanc got a piece of it with the glove, but it trickles behind him, and just like that, the Bulldogs have a 2-1 lead.
Zachary LeBlanc, the first real miscue we've seen from him. What looked like would have been a routine glove save goes off of the trapper and just bounces over his arm and into the net. And for Luke Baldwin, that's his second point in 3 minutes and 59 seconds after getting an assist on the goal by Zach Lorette. He scores the goal that gives the Antigonish Bulldogs the lead. And for Baldwin, not only his second point in 3 minutes and 59 seconds, but his second point of this tournament as well.
And Arsenault, that's an unassisted goal for Baldwin. Arsenault, hang on, we'll hold that thought as Miro's in. Trying to get it over to Armstrong. That's broken up. Good defensive play there by the Coyotes once more. Arsenault had got up after that collision down here at the red line below us. He was upset after that goal. He thinks it should have been a penalty on the Bulldogs there, and that goal, of course, wouldn't have counted. There's a shot from Bourque off the toe drag. Nice save by Catch. And now, again, take everything we said during the second intermission, ball it up, and throw it in the trash because none of it seems relevant now. There's a pad save by Catch. Bulldogs have completely turned this game around. And now it's the Kent Coyotes for the first time facing a bit of adversity here today. Nicholas Bastarash sidesteps Lorette. Now brings it over the blue line. Bastarash walks around McClellan, gets it over to Miguel Poirier, shoots, and that goes over the goal. Poirier might, if he could do that over, might have shot it quicker than making that last move. That's that last move that made him lift it over the net. Now Doherty for the Bulldogs, one-on-one with Arsenault. Wide to take that away for the Coyotes as Doherty and Arsenault separate down below us. Here comes Olivier Bro now making his tournament debut today. Has not looked out of place at all. Cash gloves that, takes no chances. 12:31 to go in the third, 2-1 Bulldogs.
I want to defend Poirier a little bit there just for a moment because it seemed to me like that puck, as he received the pass, he almost had to receive it between his feet. And because he had to adjust to make that reception of the pass, I think that is what ended up resulting in him having to make that extra move before he got that shot away.
Fair point, as Julian LeBlanc's stick breaks almost completely in half, like perfectly in half, and he heads to the bench instead of grabbing a new stick. McGrath now trying to catch up to this, trying to poke it out in front. He had a man there, Murray, but couldn't quite get it there. The anxiety here in the crowd is certainly ratcheted up as we hit the 8-minute mark of the third. That broken stick sits there in the middle of the ice. I'm sure that will come into play at some point. They always do.
Almost did right there when McDonald carried the puck towards it.
You'd love to see someone just come over and move it off to the side, but, you know, that's probably asking for too much. Gabriel Poirier now back to the corner, banks it off the boards to Bourque, back to Poirier. Good to see Poirier looking like himself after leaving temporarily in the second. Baldwin back to collect for Antigonish. Baldwin feeling good with his 2-point performance in this third. Got a little too much on that pass, though. Looking for Brody McPherson. It's going to be an icing call on the Bulldogs with 11:22 to go.
It was interesting that you mentioned, you know, if somebody could move that puck. I was watching the referee. He was kind of looking down at that stick, looking up at the play, looking down at the stick, trying to find a time where he could make that move over and get that puck out of the way, but it never quite timed right for him.
Scrum below the goal line. Coyotes come away with it. Here's Nicholas Bastarash at the point. Wrist shot. Was begging for a deflection. No one could get a stick on it, and it goes wide. Now Migari Shaw. He is the goal scorer today for the Coyotes. Catch out of the net to stop that. Play it back to the far side, and it does squirt over the blue line now. Bastarash down below us. Skates it ahead. Bastarash around Lonis, and Lonis is going to get a penalty here. Probably going to be a holding call as the hand came off the stick. And they're going to call it a slash. I thought it was a hold.
Trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a trip. Let's see what it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an incomplete. It's the referee not quite doing the full tripping motion, but you could see that that's the sort of the start of it. It's like an umpire who just is a little soft hand to the side for a strike instead of a full move.
Saving himself for later in the tournament.
There you go.
Okay, so here we go. Another Kent power play. Their second of the day is underway, and we've talked already about their vaunted power play in this tournament. LeBlanc is stoned by Katz right there. That's a design play that has worked already in this event. Katz read it well. Ferguson to Bro. Bro, wrist shot blocked by Marshall, and Marshall clears it the length of the ice. What a save by Adam Katz, his best of the day. Maybe his best of the tournament. Here's Miguel Deschamps now. Goes wide on his off wing. Holds onto it out the far side. Back to LeBlanc at the point. To Deschamps, top of the circle. Over here to Ferguson. Back to Bro. Bro to Ferguson. He has a look. Sends it down low to Deschamps. From a tough angle, right off the Bulldog logo on Katz's chest. Ferguson has it now on the half wall. Back to Joshua Bro. Ferguson. Trying to get it down low. Now the shot pulls it to the forehand. Where is it? It's behind the goal. Can't clear. LeBlanc sends it down low. Stewart was the one that couldn't get that out. Under a minute to go in the Kent power play now. And the Bulldogs get a reprieve and a much-needed line change. LeBlanc leaves it for Ferguson. 40 seconds left in this Kent man advantage. 9:25 to go in the third. It's 2-1 Antigonish. Third period goals from Lorette and Baldwin. Bastarash gloves this down, but he was outside the blue line, offside on the Kent Coyotes. 30 seconds to go in the power play.
Not sure how well it translated on screen there, but Bastarash, a great effort reaching forward to try and get his hand on that puck before it came out across the blue line, but just couldn't quite get his hand to stretch out long enough. If his wingspan was 6'5" instead of 6 feet, he might have had a chance.
20 seconds left in the power play now as they scrum on the far boards. Bastarash keeps this in, walks in, gets it over to Arsenault, one-timer right on. Cash with the save. Maybe not as much as Arsenault would have liked to get on that, but he was accurate. Now here comes Sam Grant, short-handed. Cuts to the inside, he's still with it. Grant shoots, good save by LeBlanc. That might have been a game saver right there. by LeBlanc, denying Grant with the short-handed opportunity. Penalty is over. Lonis is out of the box. He goes right to the bench. And we've got 8:40 to go in the third. Buckle up. We got a big finish coming here. Game 6 of the Don Johnson Memorial Cup here at the Queen's Place Ameris Center in Liverpool. Pierre-Luc Arsenault back to his own zone. Settles down that rolling puck. Looking here to the near blue line for Miguel Poirier. Finds him, but now Poirier with not his best pass of the day. And the Bulldogs take over. Fitzsimmons, he's got Grant with him. He's got Waterman with him. Sends it on goal. Blocker to side by Zachary LeBlanc, who, he's probably still thinking about that second goal. Baldwin, that puck that got through his glove. Baldwin now again, wrist shot right on, and LeBlanc gobbles this up. 38-18, the shots on goal in favor of Kent. Adam Catch, leading candidate for player of the game right now.
He has been absolutely phenomenal for the Antigonish Bulldogs. The only player that you might want to consider in his stead is, of course, Luke Baldwin, who has what right now stands as the game-winning goal and the assist on the goal that was the game tire. If you're looking purely at stats, offensive stats, obviously Baldwin gets the edge, but Adam Catch has been brilliant, absolutely.
Gould now behind the goal to Olivier Bro on the near side. Waterman tried to take it from him, couldn't. Now Bro gets over to Gabriel Poirier, wrist shot right down, stop, big rebound from Catch, and his Bulldogs teammates clear. Fitzsimmons in front of his own bench. Through the middle, redirected by Grant. He'll head to the bench for a change. Fitzsimmons will join him. Now Bork tries to get it back to Poirier, but he had fallen down. Didn't know it was coming, and that allows Lonis to get in on the forecheck. Lorette gloves that down. Couldn't get it deep. And now Lorette gets into his man. That looked like the puck may have been gone. No arm in the air from the official. That's another one that I thought maybe in the regular season we'd see an interference call. Now here's Munro. Ahead to Lorette. Scores free. Armstrong centers. How did that? Well, I don't know how that stayed out. Lorette got the chance. It must have shot it wide. Now he's got it again. Rolls off his stick. And now here comes Waugh. Samuel Waugh. Closing on him is Brodie McDonald. Shot is stopped and held by Catch. Action at both ends. 6:41 to go. How did that puck not go in off of Zach Lorette's stick?
Because it went off the heel of Zach Lorette's stick, and therefore he didn't get to the direction on it that he wanted. The puck just going off the heel of the stick instead of the blade. That made all the difference in the world on that play. And then we've got to give a huge mention to McDonald on the back check there. Brodie McDonald, he forced Waugh to take that shot a lot earlier than Waugh probably would have wanted to, because McDonald, with great speed, getting back and forcing that shot to happen early.
And we've seen several players from other teams in the tournament as well with that back checking. We've seen it all tournament. It really shows the commitment level of all these teams trying to capture this championship. Olivier Poirier now for the Coyotes. Gets the red line. Gets the blue line. Now back comes McGrath. Gets the red line. He sends that deep. Julien LeBlanc back for it. We approach the 14-minute mark of period 3. It's been a heck of a hockey game here this afternoon. It's been a heck of a hockey tournament since Tuesday night. Here comes Basque. Basque behind the goal out the far side. Has a look. Try to get it back to Bastarache. Comes back to him. Good job of staying on side. Now Bastarache leans on Brodie McPherson. Antigonish bench wanted a penalty. Not going to get it. Arsenault comes away with it for Kent. Now Nicholas Bastarache behind his goal. Has a look. Finds Bro here at the near blue line. Arsenault. Gets it over to Ferguson. Ferguson is by himself now as Richard fell down. Richard tried to get it back to Ferguson. Swept it a little bit too aggressively. Baldwin goes off glass. And oh, then look out! Bastarache eliminates Waterman. Antigonish bench can't believe that's not called. Now here comes Cedric Bastarache. Shoots, blocker save, catch. Grant. Glove down by Arsenault at the point. Sends it wide, Cedric Bastarache. Centering pass, it's loose, and Catch finds it before Ferguson could. Now we got a slashing match in front of the net. both teams taking turns giving each other whacks. Under 5 to go. It's a 1-goal game.
I want to come back to that hit by Bastarash on Waterman. One of the phrases that you hear an awful lot is primary point of contact. On that one, it looked to me, now again, I'm up here a little bit higher, it looked to me like the primary point of contact was shoulder to almost into the neck of Waterman, and to me, I was a little bit surprised that didn't get called because of where it looked like that primary point of contact was.
And that's a size advantage for Bastarash. Again, it's always harder for the taller player to totally avoid that head contact. Referees have been letting them play, and they've been consistent. They haven't been letting it go for one team and calling the other. There's only been 4-man advantages today for both teams combined. It hasn't been an over-officiated game. And again, as long as you know what you can and cannot do, that's all you can really ask for. We've talked about that during this tournament as well.
You talked about a couple of possible regular season penalties that didn't get called in this game. I think another way you could also describe them is in 2 or 3 goal games versus 1 goal game penalties that haven't been called because of the fact that it is a 1 goal game with under 4.5 minutes left now.
43. Now we're going to get a penalty to Kent as Grant's stick was knocked out of his hand, and they're going to say it was a slash that caused that. 4:22 to go in the third. Bulldogs going to their third power play of the day, a chance for a monumental insurance marker.
If they can finally strike for the first time on a power play in this tournament, they are 0 for 10 so far, but if they can get that power play to convert on this one, this is, for the Kent Coyotes' perspective, an absolute must-kill if they want to get this game towards overtime.
Baldwin down to Lorette. You see Lorette's ice time increasing, and he's earned every second of it. Bask now knocks that around him, and now away come the Coyotes, shorthanded. Bro is with Bask. Bask hangs on to it. Nice stick there by Baldwin to knock that away from Bask at the right second. Now here comes Lorette. He's got Munro and Armstrong with him. Kick back to Fleming, to Baldwin. Shoot, stop, rebound, stop, another chance, they score!
It's going to be Armstrong getting the power play goal. If they give 2 assists, the first assist will go to Zach Lorette. The second assist would go to Baldwin. And for Baldwin, if it is, that would be his 3rd point of this game. He also had a great defensive play earlier on that same sequence. We talked about if there's a way that Adam Catch doesn't get player of the game. If he doesn't, it's because it ends up going to Luke Baldwin.
First power play goal of the tournament for the Antigonish Bulldogs, and it couldn't have come at a better time. 1 for 3 today, 1 for 10 for the tournament. Armstrong's got his 3rd, I believe it is. After player of the game honors on Tuesday night in game 1, and it is now a 3-1 hockey game. Kent's got to throw everything at it now. 3.5 to go. Net is empty for the Coyotes, I should say, as well. So we've got that question answered already as well. They're now 6 on 5 in favor of the Coyotes as they press to get back to level here. Joshua Bro. Over to Bask. Goes wide. McClellan knocks that off his stick. Bulldogs clear to the Kent blue line. Nicholas Bastarash now takes it back behind his own goal. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Rashad drops it from Ferguson. Ferguson fans on the dump in. The second effort does get it deep. Stewart first to it for the Bulldogs. Julian LeBlanc has it at the red line. Over here to Nicholas Bastarash. He'll rim it around. Fitzsimmons tries the near side. That's going to be kept in for a moment. Ferguson has it. Gets over to LeBlanc, takes it off the skate, couldn't control it, and Grant clears to the red line. Samuel Roy takes it back into his own zone. Over here to Bastarash. LeBlanc. Red line, he'll get it deep. Stewart takes it back. He made the right play there. Casey strips him of the puck. Now the Bulldogs clear it. It's going towards the net. It's not going to make it to the net. Or into the empty net, I should say. It's going to be an icing call on the Bulldogs with 1:56 to play.
And you look at this game, and 43-22 the shots on goal, and if you were to just say, okay, 43-22 are the shots, 3-1 is the score, you would think, okay, the team with the 43 shots has the lead, but a 42 save performance by Adam Catch, keeping his team out in front. But now it's 3-2 as that one gets deflected just in front of him and just rolls through the legs of Adam Catch. It's now 3-2 for the Bulldogs with 1:48 left.
I think that's going to be Miguel Poitier's first of the tournament. Julien LeBlanc took the snapshot from the point. Poitier redirects it in front, and it sneaks through the legs of Adam Catch. 1:48 to go. Shots on goal are 44-22 in favor of the Kent Coyotes, and now they are back within a goal. LeBlanc back to the net for now, just to see if the Coyotes can control off the face-off. No timeout for either side. So we get back underway. LeBlanc to the bench again. The net is empty for the Coyotes again. Richard pokes it back to the point. Julien LeBlanc. He's going to get an assist on that goal from Poitier. Redirected in front. Catch with a beauty of a glove save off the redirect from Ferguson.
Number 16, Julien LeBlanc.
Wow.
And number 91, Samuel.
There are no words. There's a time every now and then in a broadcast where you run out of words to describe how good the hockey is, how great the plays are, how great the saves are, everything. It's just been so good.
Catch at it again with a couple more saves down low. Well, the Coyotes are making the Bulldogs earn it. If they do get out of this thing with 3 points, they're going to earn every minute of it. But what a third period by the Bulldogs. No matter how this one ends, what a third period by the Bulldogs. We are going to get a timeout here now with 1:20 to play. Still, it might as well be 10-20. The way that Kent can generate scoring chances, especially with that extra attacker, we are in for a big finish.
80 seconds left on the clock, and right now the Coyotes bench, they're not even drawing a play up. They're just giving their players a chance to rest a little bit right now. Normally in a situation like this, you see the team that's down by one trying to draw something up. They've done it enough times. They know what their plays are. They know where their positions need to be. They know who to pass to, and it's that guy wearing number 16 who's going to be the key of this final 80 seconds. You try to set up Julien LeBlanc somewhere where he can get a big one-timer away. Maybe it gets through on its own. Maybe it gets deflected. But either way, you know that Julien LeBlanc is going to be the key here for this final 80 seconds.
So here we go. Face off to the right of Catch. One and controlled by the Coyotes. Net is empty. 6 on 5. LeBlanc tried to get that through. Couldn't. As he's falling, just misses the open net. What an effort by William Fitzsimmons. You can live with that one. Excellent effort. It's going to be icing on the Bulldogs. 1:07 on the clock.
Getting the shot away from one knee inside his own zone and only misses the post by maybe 2-3 feet at the most there. Great chance by Fitzsimmons, and somehow just does not quite get it on target.
Fitzsimmons has it, throws it off the side of the goal. Careful there. 1 minute to go in the third. Now Baldwin hauls his man down. No call. Kent can't believe it. LeBlanc winds, fires right on, and Catch has it. No rebound. I cannot believe the referee's arm did not go up there.
Yeah, that one kind of boggled me a little bit as well. But I'm going to throw another number at you. 45. That's now the number of saves that Adam Catch has made this afternoon. As good as Luke Baldwin's game has been, Adam Catch, I don't know how you don't give it to Adam Catch for the player of the game. Baldwin, yeah, he's been great. He's had a fantastic game, not just his 3 points, but the other plays that he's made. But Adam Catch, 45 incredible saves.
And just like that, Cedric Bastaras has tied this game at 3:45.4 seconds on the clock. We're going to start over again.
I said this off air earlier. I'm going to say it on air now. There was a video that went viral years and years ago of a sportscaster who obviously didn't know what he was talking about because his line was just, and that happened. That's all that's left to say is, and that happened. My goodness.
Catch gloves this one. Cedric Bastarash with the goal off the post and in. How many posts have we seen in this event that didn't go in? A lot more than that didn't. That time the post is not the friend of Adam Catch, and it ends up in the net. We are 35 seconds away from our first extra free hockey, if you will, of the Don Johnson Memorial Cup. Cedric can't get that deep now. It's flipped over the glass and out of play by a frustrated Bradley Armstrong. The tournament keeps delivering.
I've run out of words. I really have. Cedric Bastarash with his first goal, his second point. Surprise, surprise, Julian LeBlanc with an assist. And Samuel Waugh with his third point of the game, as he's got 3 assists on all 3 of the Kent Coyote goals. And there's a shot and a big block by Grant.
And here comes Grant to the red line. Flips it in. It's going to go right on goal. LeBlanc, most goalies would cover there. Not LeBlanc. He plays it. Not out, though. Bulldogs still with life. Grant now with just 1 second left on the clock. Buzzer's going to go. Free hockey from Liverpool at the Fred Page Cup as these two teams, the New Brunswick and Nova Scotia champions, for some coming in, the 2 favorites heading into the tournament, are going to continue putting on a show here. 2 points for LeBlanc now in this one as he draws another assist on that Bastarash goal, first of the tournament for Cedric Waugh. Samuel Waugh, best game of the event for him. He's got 3 assists today. Absolutely outstanding game. This might be the best game of the tournament, and that's a hard statement to make based on what we've seen, but this one's delivered right across the board.
This is game number 6. All 6 of them have been incredibly entertaining, but I think you're right. This is the best game so far, and I don't know how another game can end up beating it, but with what we've seen, anything is possible, and it really is. There are so many superlatives that you want to use about this game and how good it has been, how good both teams have played. And, you know, it just sounds like, I feel like it sounds like a broken record to just say how well both of these teams are played and how intense the action has been and how clean the hockey has been, and everything that you want from a hockey game in entertainment value, we have had it over these last 60 minutes, and we're going to get it over perhaps as much as 5 more, and then however many rounds of the quote-unquote skills competition we may have to go through if there's no scoring in the next 5 minutes.
Could this be a preview of Sunday's final?
I would not be surprised. You mentioned that, you know, some people were saying that these 2 were the favorites coming in. Neither of these teams have done anything to disprove that they should be the favorites after the performance that they've put out against each other. And that's no disrespect to the Liverpool Privateers, no disrespect to the CBN Stars, no disrespect to the Kensington Vipers, but just these 2 teams in this game in particular have just been playing at a different level, and they've been bringing the best out of each other at that different level for these last 60 minutes.
Just trying to soak it all in, man.
We're not going to do the broadcaster cliche of, okay, who's going to score? We'll pick one guy from each team, because that's too, you know,
right.
Yeah. And all we can say is, you know, there's a bit of your heart that has to go out to Adam Catch. He's now made 45 saves on 48 shots in this game, and he was 45 seconds, as that number 45 comes up. 45 saves. He was 45 seconds away from getting that victory when the goal by Cedric Bastarash just goes off of the post and in. And you said it as well, how many posts we've seen in this game and in this tournament that have hit iron and gone out. That's one that hits iron and goes in.
should thank our sponsors, our two main tournament sponsors before we get underway. Mercy Seafoods and the Best Western Plus Liverpool, two fantastic presenting sponsors of this event that could not happen without their generous support. So thank you to those two wonderful corporate partners for everything you do for Junior B hockey. So here we go, 3-on-3 for 5 minutes or less. We've got Grant, Fitzsimmons, and Fleming to start for Antigonish, Basque, Bro, and William Bork for Mario Cormier and the Kent Coyotes. Overtime underway. First extra frame of this Don Johnson Memorial Cup. Bork now over the blue line. He's got Basque going to the net. And good play by Fitzsimmons to break that up. That would have been a dangerous scoring chance for certain. Basque now falls down. Fitzsimmons takes over for the Bulldogs. Look out. Good job by Fitzsimmons to get that skate out. So that puck was going to be self-directed right at his own goal. Fitzsimmons now behind the goal. Bork watching him. Fitzsimmons gets it back to Fleming. That puck came out. Offside on the Bulldogs. 4:19 to go in overtime.
I know it's a bit of a cliche to say something like, you hate to see either team lose, but you really would hate to see either team lose. Both of these teams have played so well in this game. The good news from one perspective is both of these teams are going to get very valuable points, and because this one game is going into overtime, that's going to take some of the tiebreaker scenarios out of the picture, because this game is going to have its 3 points split up rather than all going to one side.
Miguel Shaw back to Julian LeBlanc. 2 more points for him this afternoon. Continues to add to his tournament scoring lead. Baldwin, 3-point afternoon for him. He's been outstanding. Lorette, who's out there with him, has 2 points today. Just a bevy of talent on display here. Waterman now. 1-on-1 with LeBlanc. Goes wide. Good job by LeBlanc to get a stick on that. Caused Waterman difficulty. Now he pins Waterman to the boards. Giveaway. Lorette walks out, shoots. LeBlanc makes the save. Puck comes right back on LeBlanc again. Big save by Zachary LeBlanc right there. As I think if you could ask Antigonish right now if they could have the puck on one player's stick and a chance to win it, it'd probably be Zach Lorette right now. He's got the hot stick.
He does indeed, and great for Zach LeBlanc to make that save after that one goal earlier. That was a little bit of a miscue for him. And he dialed himself right back in, making a really nice save here in the overtime.
Back underway inside the Kent zone. Nicholas Bastarache being hounded by Marshall. Marshall's got that long reach. Still in there. Finally loses his stick. Puck comes out to the red line. Kyler Lonis has it. Looking for Marshall at the blue line. Marshall gets it to Munro. Munro with Bastarache closing from behind. Munro shoots. That's blocked by Arsenault. Bastarache now sends it right out front. Not sure what the thought process was there. Now here it comes. So actually there's some action behind the play. That's what I was getting distracted by. That was Jeremy Casey busting in to the offensive zone. Here comes Marshall now. Up the middle for the Bulldogs. Marshall drops it for Lonis. Lonis steps around Arsenault. Now he loses it, and back comes Bro. 1-on-1 with Munro. Munro is not a defenseman, but he looked like one there. Under 2.5 minutes to go in overtime. We're halfway through the extra frame. You know what follows that if we don't have a winner. Munro takes that away from Bro. Arsenault to the bench for a change. Marshall will do the same. Now here comes Kyler Lonis. It's Lonis, Fitzsimmons, and now coming on the ice is Owen Fleming for Antigonish. Bork, Basque, and Bro for Kent. Here goes Fitzsimmons, shoots right on, saved by LeBlanc, and now Basque trying to get the 2-on-1, but a good back check by Sam Grant. Basque to Bro, top of the circle, cuts in, still with it, shoots and catch, makes the save. What an individual effort for Joshua Bro. Just can't put the finishing touch on it. 1:43 to go in overtime. We are still tied.
If you're old enough to remember the 1991 Stanley Cup Finals and a call by Bob Cole where he described Jaromir Jagr deking out everybody in the building except for 3 ushers, that was almost that play by Bro right there.
Yeah. Rashad taken down. Kent bench wants a penalty. Not going to get it. Now Fleming leans on a shot. One hand on the stick. Gets it to Ferguson. Ferguson's got all kinds of room at the top. Shoots. Blocker to side by Catch. Stays in play. Julian LeBlanc over to get it. LeBlanc spins the other way. Waits. Now drops it again. Offside. Not as much of a concern in 3-on-3 overtime. It's taken us some getting used to, but I think we as a hockey society is now used to the intricacies of the 3-on-3 overtime and the blue line not meaning as much as it usually does. Here comes Richard, almost fell. He stumbled a bit. Now he gets it back to Ferguson. Shoots. Stop by Catch. Quick release from Ferguson. Catch just gets down in the nick of time. Under a minute to go in overtime, 57.6 seconds.
And that brings Adam Catch's save total to 48 on the night. I said in a game previously, 30 saves is a good game, 35 to 40 saves is a great game, 48 saves is an incredible game for any goaltender, particularly the pressure on some of these saves that Adam Catch has made.
Baldwin didn't like what he saw, so he peels back. Lorette methodically over the blue line. Zach Lorette head up to the backhand behind the goal out the near side. Zach Lorette still with it. Still with it, Zach Lorette. Now he'll spin and fire. LeBlanc, as he normally does, out of the net to play it, and he'll play it to Jeremy Casey. Over here to Joshua Bro. He dives and he can't corral it. 20 seconds to go in overtime as Baldwin takes it back, and now to borrow a term from basketball, will the Bulldogs hold for the last shot? Lorette flips through the middle trying to hit Waterman his shot. He does. Waterman to the backhand. Can't get the shot away. And that should just about do it. Time for one more shot if they are quick. Lorette pulls it in, shoots, save, and then the rebound was there. And the Kent Coyotes clear. 65 minutes solves nothing. We are headed to a shootout in Liverpool between the Kent Coyotes and the Liverpool. Yeah, we're in Liverpool. I almost forgot that too. The Antigonish Bulldogs and the Kent Coyotes tied at 3 through regulation and a shootout. Catch just got an invite to the bench and he declined. he's ready to get this shootout underway.
I'm going to ask you a question. How many first-year junior hockey players have you ever seen get that much ice time in an overtime in a game of this magnitude? Zach Lorette has been absolutely phenomenal. And when you throw in the fact that he is a first-year junior hockey player, it makes it even more remarkable how well he has played.
And we've talked already in this event about players growing into the tournament. The Zach Lorette that we see here now is not the same Zach Lorette that we saw Tuesday night. He has grown into this tournament and is now a dominant player every time he's on the ice. So Joshua Bro is going to get us underway. He's going to shoot first for the Kent Coyotes. I don't got to tell you who the goaltender is. If you don't know who that is by now, well, I don't know what you've been doing, but you haven't been paying much attention. We've only called his name 47 odd times, 48 odd times. Not sure what waiting for a referee's whistle here is Bro. I think he's ready to go. Shootout underway from Liverpool. Joshua Bro. Down the right side now, into the middle, shoot, scores! Joshua Bro tucks one home to open the shootout.
And when you score, when you're shooting first, it's definitely the advantage to shoot first. And now the Bulldogs will need to respond, and it's going to be Baldwin.
3-point day for Luke Baldwin. Big moment here for him now. He brings it down the right side like Bro did, cuts to the forehand. He had the open net. He couldn't put it over the right pad of Zachary LeBlanc. Advantage Coyotes.
And LeBlanc looked like he had gotten off balance there a little bit, but somehow was able to stay centered enough to get that pad in front of that shot.
Jeremy Casey now for the Kent Coyotes. A goal here would certainly put them in the driver's seat. Casey down the middle to the backhand. Oh, he just put it wide. If you were on the far side of the ice, you probably thought that was going in, as that just missed wide of the near post. So, still 1-0 for the Coyotes in the shootout. Coming out to take the shot now is Marshall. Nick Marshall for the Antigonish Bulldogs. Marshall. All players have gone down that right side so far. Marshall fakes forehand, and then he airmails it wide, blocker side. So now here comes Alex Ferguson with a chance to win it. Or is it? Oh, it's not Ferguson. Sorry, it's Miguel Shaw. Those two look almost identical. Miguel Shaw with a chance to win it for the Coyotes, and he can't catch with the poke check. And now it's a must-score scenario for the Antigonish Bulldogs.
And is it anybody but Zachary Lorette? And of course, it is Lorette.
Here's Zachary Lorette to keep the Antigonish Bulldogs alive in this hockey game. Down the right side like everyone else has. Waits, tried to pull to the backhand, and he ran out of real estate.
So it must be a five-round shootout. Yeah, 5-round shootout.
Okay, apologies there. We're used to the junior A ranks and the pro ranks. So here's Alex Ferguson. Still just the one goal for Joshua Bro. Ferguson in. Ferguson shoots and he misses wide blocker side. I like the approach there, coming in with speed, but he couldn't get the job done. So now here comes the captain of the Bulldogs, Sam Grant. Still just the one goal. Bulldogs are due in this shootout. Sam Grant. He comes right down the middle. Looking good. He scores! Tied at 1 in the shootout. Bro for Kent, Grant for Antigonish, and now it's basically 1-for-1. This is the 5th shooter for the Coyotes. Each has a goal.
And surprise, surprise, Julien LeBlanc. He'll be the shooter for the Coyotes.
Almost like they knew it was going to go this way. LeBlanc right down the middle with speed to the backhand. Good save by Catch. And now, I swear, the Bulldogs can win it with a goal. William Fitzsimmons. I think Catch was showing some tips or pointers to Fitzsimmons on where he might want to go. The goalie doesn't know, who's not going to know. Fitzsimmons down the middle, scores! And the Antigonish Bulldogs win it! They entered the third period down 1-0, and they had dominated for the most part of the third period until the latter stages when the Kent Coyotes staged a brilliant comeback and now win it in a shootout to improve to 2-1. Kent falls to 2-1, and like we said, that warm and fuzzy feeling of 16, 18, whatever it was hours ago suddenly isn't as warm and fuzzy anymore.
However, the Kent Coyotes, because this game went beyond regulation, are still in first place. They have 7 points ahead of the Antigonish Bulldogs, who only have 5, because the Bulldogs, their 2 victories, 1 has come in overtime, 1 has come in regulation.
Catch is still my player of the game for Antigonish. For Kent, who do you got?
Oh my gosh. It's so difficult. I think maybe you got to go with Cedric Bastarash scoring the game-tying goal with 45 seconds left. You got to take that into consideration as to when he scored his goal. He also had a pretty good game off the puck as well. Other players, I think, who had a good game, I think, you look at a guy like Ferguson, you look at a guy like Miguel Rashad.
Even LeBlanc? Couple assists for him in that comeback, on both of those comebacks.
Yeah, or Waugh, who had an assist on all 3 goals.
Good point.
But I think, when you're looking at the magnitude of the goal that was scored, Cedric Bastarash with the game-tying goal with 49 or 45 seconds left. And he also had an assist on the opening goal, yeah. So, you got to take that into account as well.
I think the people picking the players of the game are doing the exact same thing you're doing right now. Yeah. They're going through the list of accolades and trying to make a decision. Or they're waiting for word from somewhere else. Perhaps the committee up in the hospitality suite makes the choices and they're relaying it down.
And they're sending it down and the text message isn't coming through or something. Yeah, that... Either way, I mean, you could almost draw a name out of a hat because all of the Coyotes played so well, as did all of the Bulldogs.
Number 19, Cedric.
Well, I think you got the hard one right.
Yes.
I think that's the harder of the two. Maybe I'm wrong. Cedric Bastrash, player of the game for the Coyotes with a goal and an assist, and that goal, of course, was the game-tying goal with 45 seconds left. Well, I think there's a clever, trying to be clever or coy was the PA announcer saying it might be a surprise, thinking that it won't be a surprise. I am surprised by that. William Fitzsimmons, the shootout winner, is the player of the game, but catch for me all day.
Yeah, and if not catch, and look at that, Fitzsimmons is giving it to Catch. Fitzsimmons says, I don't want it. Catch, you've earned it. And I mean, yes, Will Fitzsimmons scored the game-winning goal in the shootout, and we talked about it possibly happening in another game in this tournament, but Fitzsimmons just gave that to Catch. And
I wouldn't be shaking my head as bad if not for the announcement of, I know it's going to be a big surprise, but as if, everyone in the building knew it was going to be Fitzsimmons. I think everyone in the building thought it was going to be Catch. But,
yeah.
But again, we don't want to belabor these points about the player of the game. We don't pick them, and until we get to pick them, they're not always going to be who we would select. So that's the way it goes.
So, final thoughts are, wow, incredible. Best game I have seen in a long time, not just in this tournament, but maybe at any level.
We're done till tomorrow, right? We're done,
no,
right?
we still have one left.
Oh, good.
But you get to go to take a relative rest by being on color commentary for the next one, which comes up in a little over an hour from now when the Liverpool Privateers take on the CBN Stars. Until then, on behalf of our awesome cameraman Seth Silver and the best play-by-play voice that I know, Michael Barkhouse, this is Michael Petter saying, may your skates always be sharp, may your shots always hit the top shelf. Final score once again in the shootout. The Antigonish Bulldogs with the victory over the Kent Coyotes 4-3. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back with you in an hour.